Hey, thanks for tuning in. I have something different to share today. And today it is beef and bitter melon in black bean sauce. And this is for my bitter melon loving family and friends. Okay, so here it goes. 1 pound steak strips. So here it is. And this is top round steak. So I'm just going to go ahead and marinate it in the 1 teaspoon of soy sauce that I need to kind of just flavor it up with while we're reviewing the rest of the recipe. Okay, so that's 1 pound steak strips. And this is top round steaks that I had today marinated in 1 teaspoon soy sauce. 1 bitter melon. So this is the infamous bitter melon. It looks kind of ridgy, kind of different, but it packs so much health benefits. But this is probably the most bitter vegetable in all of the earth that I know about, and it's an acquired taste, but I eat about maybe an average of 1 to 2 a week because of all its benefits. So I am in the search of finding different bitter melon stir fries and how I can incorporate it into some meals. So this is for my bitter melon recipe lovers that can incorporate it into one of their meals. I think have about maybe 5 on my YouTube channel. All you have to do is search bitter melon and they will all pop up. All right, so 1 bitter melon, 1/2 onion, I already pre-cut it, 2 cloves of garlic, okay, 1 teaspoon ginger grated. So this will probably produce, this is the size of like this, maybe half a thumb. It'll probably produce about 1 teaspoon of that grated ginger. 1 tablespoon black bean sauce. Of course, you could make your own black bean sauce, but who wants to do that? So I just went to the Asian store and got this. It looks like a popular brand that I see often, black bean garlic sauce. And I'm sure there is just plain black bean sauce, but this is the one I have. And adding the other 2 cloves of garlic in addition to the rest of the recipe will just add more flavor. So I guess what I'm trying to say is okay if you got hold of black bean garlic sauce. Okay, so 1 tablespoon of this and 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. Okay, so also the recipe calls for a pinch of sugar, so this is my stock of sugar. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up my 14-inch skillet here. Just going to bring it a little bit into view there. And I'm going to show you how to cut up the bitter melon. Okay, so all I do is just cut off the ends, cut it down the middle. And this is what it looks like inside. I don't usually prepare it by trying to wash out the bitterness. I feel like if you try to wash out the bitterness, it might wash out some of the health benefits. So bitter is bitter, so I'm just going to go ahead and gut it out here. And it takes an extra step. And who has time for extra steps? We're just going to get to the core of the recipe, right? Okay, so here you go. It is gutted out. Simple as that. It's very easy to prepare. It's like preparing an apple. And then I'll go ahead and if there's any spots on it that I don't like, go ahead and take off some of those spots. So this one looks pretty good, just a few here. Okay, so I'm just gonna thinly slice them, just like this. So it is mostly eaten this way, where it's kind of quartered into these pieces. Sometimes it is cored out in just the middle and then stuffed with your favorite protein, but that takes time, so I like it this way. Okay, almost done. But no one will be calling me for this for their birthday party anytime soon. Okay, so of course part of the recipe is some cooking oil, canola oil. Just gonna go ahead and add that. I would say it's a big pot that I have, the stir fry, so I'm just gonna add about 2 tablespoons. So it just depends on your size of your stir fry, stir fryer. So I'm gonna go ahead and put them in. Here's a very close-up look on what it looks like, cut up. Okay, it has a very, very strange look. So I'm gonna just go ahead and put that in. Okay, so I'm gonna save the beef strips for last. But what I'm gonna do is just gonna squeeze in the marinade, which is just 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. I'm gonna squeeze it in a little bit because I didn't have time to really marinate it. And I'm gonna add this last because this beef will cook fast. I don't want chewy beef. So I'm gonna add this last, but I'm just gonna marinate it with my fingers here. Okay, so we put in the bitter melon. We're marinating the 1 pound of round steak. So 1/2 onion. So we're gonna put that 1/2 onion in. Okay, and bring it to you. Okay, 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, 1, 2. 1 teaspoon ginger grated. So I showed it to you earlier. I'm going to just go ahead and put it in. So I don't like my stuff too gingery because it might take over the flavor. So as I'm doing this, I could tell that I'm going to probably just stop short a little bit of the recommended 1 teaspoon of ginger. 1 tablespoon black bean sauce. Okay, so we talked about this black bean sauce. Okay, so close up. See what it looks like close up. It literally is black beans. It's supposedly fermented black beans, and it's really, really tangy, really salty. So this recipe is not for the faint taste buds. So you have this black bean sauce, and then the 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, and then you have the bitter melon. So only the strongest of taste buds will be able to handle this recipe. But that's the nice thing about this recipe is that it opens up a lot of different flavors. It's very different from your usual hamburger and stuff, but it packs such a punch. Okay, so I have the steak ready. I'm just marinating it. I put in the bitter melon. I put in the 1/2 onion. I put in the garlic. I put in the teaspoon of ginger. I put in the tablespoon of black bean sauce, and I put in the tablespoon of oyster sauce. So I think the last thing I'm going to add is, remember earlier I talked about not preparing the bitter melon by washing it out. So we have to kind of, I would say, wash out a little bit of the bitterness, just kind of tone it down. And I'm just going to add a pinch of sugar. So that's about a half teaspoon of sugar. I'm adding that, and it'll actually help caramelize the vegetables also. Okay, so this, oh my gosh, this is popping on me. So I'm just going to stand back a little bit. Okay. So I'm bring what it looks like. I'm going to bring it up to you, because it already looks so delicious. So there you go. That is what it's turning out to look like. Okay. So bitter melon doesn't have to be cooked long. And since the beginning of this video, it's already been 9.5 minutes. So you can see it doesn't have to be cooked super long. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the beef now. Because the beef doesn't have to cook long. And let's see what this turns out looking like. Let me bring the camera to you to get an aerial view of it while I'm talking and turning it here. So it's coming along well. So the beef is cooking well. The bittermelon is cooking well. So almost done here, just a few more minutes. So like I was mentioning earlier, this recipe is not for the faint of heart because it is really, really bitter. But there are some fans of bittermelon, and of course it's an acquired taste. And maybe you'll develop acquired taste for all the health benefits. But this is one way that I've seen it eaten, the black green sauce, and I have actually put it in my panak bud, and I put it in my tinola. I've done it Okinawan style, so I've already kind of put a lot on YouTube regarding how to cook it. So if you're ever in the mood for it, try one of my recipes. Okay, so I'm just going to get a plate so I can bring the recipe to you. Okay, so here you go. That is beef and bittermelon in black bean sauce. Doesn't it look delicious? All right. So one thing you could do, if it's not salty enough for you, you could just add a little bit more black bean sauce right out of the jar. And if it's not sweet enough for you, you can just add a little bit more sugar, sprinkle it on top to kind of like mellow out the bitterness a little bit. But there it goes. Okay, well, thank you for listening. I hope that you try this recipe and enjoy it one day. And take care. Bye-bye.